how should we be thinking about the potential for creative ways of funding the development of the project?
In order to look at what are the creative ways of financing, we need to know what is it that we're financing. In other words, what is it that what's the creative nature of the project, and that in part informs what tools we use to implement. So, as I usually do at the beginning of a project, began thinking about, okay, what's the possible scale of this? Let me get my head around it and see how this might operate. And I could be wrong, but it's a beginning. So we started out, I think we had 76 acres on site. The convention center is taking about 20. That leaves, I think, I had some notes here, 56. We talked about this earlier. You net out the park at 14 acres. That leaves us about 40 acres that could be redeveloped. And from that, we need to deduct some of the sensitive areas, the historic houses, circulation, etc. So let's say we had 30 acres that could be redeveloped on site. And this doesn't consider what might happen across the street and the sort of influence that this project can have on adjoining properties, which is a separate but very much integrated part of the solution, I think. So let's say we had 30 acres. And let's take it a step forward. Let's say, for example, it is a combination of low-rise, high density, up to some mid-rise. So let's say, conservatively, we're averaging a 1.5 floor area ratio, or essentially, for every acre, we're going to build about 60,000 square feet of something.
Right.
If we ran that out, that's about 2 million square feet of space on 30 acres. If we said all costs combined from type 5, which is stick frame construction, down to type 1, steel and concrete, let's say we're averaging $300 a square foot in value. That gets it up somewhere around $600 million. Now, we know from working in a lot of cities that the capital structure between public and private investment, on average, is somewhere around 4 or 5 private dollars for every public dollar. It really depends on how much amenity gets built into it as to the public's cost on it. So that suggests that total capital on the public side might be somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to, say, $125 million. Now, that could be done through reduced land costs. That could be done through a bond measure, tax increment, an LID, tax credits. There's a whole variety of tools that could be used to contribute to the private side, the public side of it. And then, so let's say then 450 million or so, maybe a little bit more, is private sector. How does that begin to break down? How much is retail? How much is housing? How much is office space, if those are the components? Or is there a major public investment in the middle of this, a major attraction that could somehow benefit San Antonio's public, and at the same time be able to draw upon the, I think, literally millions of people that come through the conference center each year, and they could draw into this into the site. So I'm trying to get my head around what are the numbers, what sort of capital investment might be involved, and I think that as a team we work our way back and forth between design, innovation, inspiration, excitement, marketability, financeability, implementation. And if we do this from the very beginning of the process, I think that we stay in reality, and reality does not in any way compromise excitement. And too many projects wait till the very end to address implementation, and that's way too late. We should be talking about it on the very first day, in my view.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds great. So that's sort of what I had prepped here. Is there anything else that you've sort of just come up with that you'd like to add into things?
I think this is a particularly important project. I think it's happening at a time. I mean, I'm really encouraged to see the city of San Antonio step forward with this project to pull from this the best of history and to integrate it into their forward thinking. And I think it's very important for this country that a project like this is being considered at this time. Now, granted, this is going to take take some time to implement. But I think as a statement of leadership courage in the city of San Antonio, when a lot of cities are pulling back, I think it's great that they're going to go forward with something of this monumental size and importance to the community. So I feel humbled that I'm being asked by the team to be part of it, and I can tell you that from Leland Consulting Group, and we work in a lot of different cities, I will personally take a very lead role to work with the other consultants.
Dave, thanks so much for all this. It's really terrific, and I think we'd love to have this opportunity to work with you and drill down into these things.
Okay, well, thanks, fellas. Let me know if you need anything else.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dave. Bye-bye.
Bye.